What if a black hole suddenly flew by Earth at the speed of light? This might sound like a scene from a sci-fi movie, but let's take a deep dive into the potential chaos this could cause. In this video, we're going to explore black holes of all sizes, from the tiniest ones to the massive giants, and the catastrophic impact they would have if they passed by Earth. Strap in. It's going to be a thrilling ride to start. Black holes come in different sizes. Most of them are called stellar mass black holes, which form when a massive star collapses under its own weight. When these stars, at least 8 times heavier than our sun, implode, they create black holes that are incredibly dense but not necessarily large in size. For instance, AIA.BH1, the closest black hole to Earth, is about 1,560 light-years away. Although it's about 10 times as massive as our sun, its event horizon is only 59 kilometers wide. But how does the size affect its influence on Earth? Let's find out. Now, let's imagine a black hole that's much smaller. Picture one that has the exact same mass as Earth. Such a black hole would only be about 2 centimeters in diameter, smaller than a coin, yet possessing the gravitational force of our entire planet. If this black hole passed by Earth at the speed of light, it would travel past us in just 0.04 seconds. But the effects on our planet could be disastrous. As the black hole sped by, the side of the Earth facing it would experience a stronger gravitational pull than the opposite side. This difference in gravity would create tidal forces, similar to the forces responsible for ocean tides, but on a much larger and more destructive scale. The impact could trigger massive earthquakes, volcanoes, and tsunamis all around the globe. And that's not all. Earth's orbit could be altered, throwing our planet into a new trajectory. Depending on the direction, this could lead to extreme climate changes or send us flying toward the cold emptiness of space. Away from the sun, let's take this hypothetical scenario a step further. What if this black hole didn't just fly by, but actually pass through Earth? Imagine a needle piercing the planet, moving at an unimaginable speed. The black hole's gravity would stretch the Earth in its path, causing massive earthquakes. The planet's crust would crack and shift. Entire tectonic plates could slip, and the force would be so powerful that it would trigger violent eruptions, shaking the entire planet simultaneously, and you wouldn't even see it coming. Because black holes are invisible to the naked eye, you wouldn't notice anything until the planet began shaking and cracking beneath your feet. Now, let's imagine an even larger black hole, one that's about 10 times more massive than the sun. These stellar mass black holes are powerful enough to rip apart planets if they come too close. If such a black hole entered the outer region of our solar system, its gravitational pull would start to affect Jupiter and later Mars. You'd see unusual gravitational distortions, and stars would begin to swirl around the black hole. This phenomenon is called gravitational lensing, but you would need powerful telescopes to detect it. As the black hole approached Earth, the planet's surface would begin to stretch toward it. The gravitational forces would cause violent earthquakes and tsunamis. And the situation would only worsen as the black hole drew closer to Earth. That if this black hole were on a collision course with Earth, the effects would be catastrophic. In an instant, the black hole would tear through Earth's surface, pulling everything inward. The planet's crust, mantle, and core would be stretched and torn apart. In less than a fraction of a second, Earth would be ripped open, leaving behind a tunnel of molten debris and shock waves that would ripple through the planet. But Earth wouldn't be completely swallowed by the black hole. Instead, it would be torn apart, with chunks of the planet being ejected into space. The black hole would continue its journey without slowing down, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. Let's look at a different type of black hole, the intermediate mass black hole. These are rarer and harder to detect, but they could cause just as much damage. A black hole with 1,000 times the mass of the sun would create a much larger disturbance. Earth would experience intense tidal forces, earthquakes, and volcanoes as the black hole passed through the solar system. The gravity from such a black hole would start pulling Earth in, threatening to tear apart the planet's surface. Now, for the most terrifying black hole we know of, Phoenix A. This supermassive black hole has a mass of 100 billion suns, and its event horizon stretches an unimaginable 590 billion kilometers across. This colossal black hole's gravity would warp the fabric of space itself, affecting planets all across the solar system. Neptune and Uranus would start drifting off their orbits, and soon, even Earth would feel its pull. As Phoenix A approached, Earth's orbit would form under the overwhelming gravity, and tides would rise dramatically. The oceans would bulge, and supersonic winds would tear across the surface. Satellites and debris from space would plummet to Earth, and the International Space Station would be dragged down. The planet's crust would crack, and within seconds, everything would be sent into chaos. Phoenix A would tear through the solar system at the speed of light, leaving Earth's orbit shattered in just 0.04 seconds. The Phoenix A black hole would pass, leaving Earth in ruins. The planet would be sent tumbling through space, no longer bound to any star. Earth would become a rogue planet, drifting through the void, and humanity would be left to face an unimaginable future. The destruction would be absolute. Black holes are destructive forces of nature. Whether they're small and immediate or supermassive, if they pass too close to Earth, they would wreak havoc on our planet. And if we were unlucky enough to cross paths with one on a collision course, it would be the end of the world as we know it. But the true danger of black holes lies not in their size, but in their massive gravitational pull, which can tear apart anything in its path. So, the next time you look up at the night sky, remember that the universe is full of these terrifying giants. It's a reminder that we're just a tiny speck in the grand, chaotic cosmos.